All right. So finding what we need for our practice today, grabbing your blocks, grabbing your strap, grabbing a mat, well, on your mat. Maybe you're sitting on some pillows, grabbing an eye pillow or a blanket or multiple blankets, whatever you need to help your practice work for you today. All right, so we are sitting in a nice simple cross leg, and maybe you're rocking a little bit from side to side or a little bit from front to back, or maybe you're finding yourself in stillness. But we're just bringing ourselves into the present, bringing our thoughts to the present, trying very hard to take ourselves out of all of the things that we've got going on and bring ourselves just to this moment, allowing yourself just to be right here, right now, for the next little while we do this practice, while we do our breathing, our movement, our strengthening, and our stretching. So sitting ourselves up, well, actually, I'm still rocking, and maybe you're still rocking too. I'm rocking a little from side to side, or maybe you are rocking from front to back. Let's change this rocking movement, if you were doing that, and let's change this into some torso circling. So we're going to circle the torso, nice big circle. Circling that and just stretching through that. Maybe that feels good in your lower back. Maybe that feels good in your hips. Maybe it feels good in the abdominal area. Maybe it doesn't feel good at all this morning, and that's okay. Sometimes we have those days where every movement, it's like, why am I doing this? And then the next time you do it, you're like, oh yeah, okay, things feel better now. Everybody has those days or weeks or months, but know that things will change. Let's go ahead and switch directions. So if you were rotating that torso one way, go ahead and rotate the other way. Ooh, and I feel that. Maybe you feel it in your kidney area. Have you been drinking enough water? Maybe you feel it in, glutes. You might be feeling it in your glutes. Just using that rotation. And also we're beginning our awareness, our body awareness, our self-awareness as we begin this warm up part of our practice. Let's bring ourselves back to center, lengthen up through our spine, sit ourselves up tall, and let's go ahead and do some shoulder rolls right here. And you don't have to find yourself, if it feels good for you to be moving while you're doing these things, you can do that. You can have some movement going if that feels good for your circulation, if it feels good for your body, or it feels good for your mind. If you've got a lot of things buzzing going on, if you've got some anxiety, some extra stress, that movement, it's okay. It'll help bring you back into the present. It'll help with your nervous system, and then you'll find some stillness when you're ready. Let's go ahead and roll those shoulders the other way. So bringing that forward. Rolling that forward. Good. Very good. And let's get a nice big shrug here. So shrug up and then release that down. Drop your chin to chest. Oh yeah. See that little extra dropping that chin to chest after releasing that down? Woo, so good for the back of the neck. Lift that head center. Let's do that shrug again. Shrug that up like you don't know what's going on, like extra over exaggerating, shrugging, 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 and then heavily release that down and then drop that chin to chest. Oh yeah. And maybe it feels even better that second time around. I find that that's very true. First time and second time, third time, fourth time, a little bit more each time. Bring that head to center. Let's drop our right ear towards our right shoulder. And then drop that chin back to chest. And left ear towards that left shoulder. And drop that chin back to chest. And maybe you're feeling a lot of stiffness in your neck. Super normal. That's okay. Let's take that right ear to right shoulder again. And drop that chin to chest. And then left ear to left shoulder again. And drop that chin to chest. Good. Bring that head to center. Roll those shoulders back. Roll those shoulders forward. Let's add in a sun breath here. Let's inhale and sweep this up And exhale it out. Very nice. Inhale and sweep this up. And exhale this out. And inhale and sweep this up. And as we exhale this time, let's take those hands behind us. So you can clasp those hands behind you. You can be holding onto your strap behind you. You can be holding onto your wrists. Whatever works for you and your mobility and flexibility, remembering every day is different. Maybe last time you were able to clasp your hands, but this time, maybe you've got some tightness or you've got some stuff going on with the shoulders or the chest and you're like, not gonna happen. That doesn't mean you don't need to do the pose. All it means is use something to help you modify so that you can continue to get that movement and that opening, but maybe just not as much today. Don't worry, you'll get back to where you were the next time. Open that up, good. Drop our chin to chest and take our eyes to sky. And head to neutral. Drop that right ear to right shoulder and left ear to left shoulder. Bring that back to center. Go ahead and release that, shake that out. Inhale and sweep this up. And exhale it out. Good. Inhale and sweep this up. Let's clasp those hands behind us again. So clasping or holding onto a wrist or holding onto your strap or a towel, whatever you would like to use. Again, I find that with some people that have taken class before, they're like, oh, I couldn't do it, so I just didn't do anything for that little bit. And I'm like, no, you can do whatever you want to do. Just keep moving and keep breathing. If you can't do something, then modify it to what you can do. But don't put that block in your mind of like, well, I just can't do it, so I'm just going to sit here. Think about maybe breathing or adding in some more breathing, extra breath, or adding in a different movement, or maybe doing an opposing movement. Maybe if your shoulders aren't opening, maybe you can give yourself a big hug, or maybe you can go back to where we were before. You can go back to the previous movement. So if you ever find yourself doing that, where you're like, well, I can't do it, do what we were just doing before and then rejoin when you are able, but allow yourself to keep moving and allow your brain to keep moving forward. Don't get stuck in that, well, I just can't do it. No can't, just movement. That's all you have to do. Just move and breathe. Let's inhale and sweep this up. Clasp our hands at the top and let's press our palms towards the ceiling. Lengthening up, lengthening up, lengthening up. That's the victory. The victory is that you are just moving for an hour, for 45 minutes, for however long you can do it. Just moving and breathing. Let's take a big deep inhale here and exhale it out. And big deep inhale and exhale it out, or sigh it out is what we're doing. We're engaging our autonomic nervous system. Let's inhale it again and exhale, big sigh out. Yeah, so good. Bring those arms out in front of us. Stop hands. Point our fingers down, point those fingers up, point those fingers down, and point those fingers up. Good. Opening up our arms. We see our arms in our peripheral vision. And let's go ahead, take our palms up, make some fists, roll our knuckles in, and make a nice bicep curl right here. Sit ourselves up tall. A little bit of seated cat and cow, just a few times. Let's go ahead and arch the back here, and then we'll round this right here. Let's inhale and open. And exhale and round. And this takes a lot of core strength right here just to do this. Inhale and open, and exhale and round. Inhale and open, and exhale and round. And let's bring ourselves to a neutral spine. So sitting up tall, opening this up, palms down. Good. Roll those shoulders back and roll those shoulders forward. Big inhale up. And let's go ahead and drop that right hand down, reach our left arm over. Very good. And let's inhale and sweep this up. Drop that left hand down, reach that right arm over. Very nice. We're going to do this a couple times on each side. So maybe 3 times on each side. Inhale and lift this up. Drop that right hand down, reach this over. Oh yeah. We're adding that rhythmic breath with that. Inhale up and exhale over. Good, one more time, each side. Inhale it up. And exhale it over. And inhale it up. And exhale it over. Reach. So good. Good, inhale it up. Let's take our left hand, drop it to our right thigh. Our left thumb is going to follow our spine down to the floor. Hand is on the floor behind us and spinal twist, tall spinal twist. Breathe it here. Inhale it deeply and exhale it out. And big deep inhale. And exhale it out. Oh, good. Inhale and sweep this up. Drop our right hand to our left thigh. Left thumb follows our spine down to the floor. Hand to the floor. Ooh, spinal twisted here. Inhale it deeply. And exhale it out. One more time. Big deep inhale. And exhale it out. And bring this back to center. Very, very nice. All right, we've got one foot out in front of us. Let's do a little bit of a foot massage, a little bit of nerve ending, waking up our nerve endings. So just a little bit of massage of those toes, and it's also a little bit of a foot warm up. Maybe it's still cold where you're at. It's cold in my house today. So that feels good. This nice little foot warm up, working on those toes, balls of the foot, arch of the foot, or if there's just an extra tender spot in your foot, finding that you can stay there, because sometimes that feels really good. It like kind of makes my eyes twitch. Working back towards the heel and the ankle and up that shin and calf. So good. Just this self massage. And this also, again, it's dipping in or plugging into that self-awareness. Woo! Yes, our interoception, our proprioception, the recognizing what we are feeling, where we are feeling it at. Very good. Let's go ahead and switch those feet. So that might mean that you have to switch your cross leg too. Let's start at those toes. And working back towards the ball of the foot, arch of the foot, heel. Or again, if you find some place where it's like, I'm going to spend all my time right there, then you can do that too. Funny things happen when we do these little foot massages, nerve ending things, or even a lot when we do the pretzel, when we do very intense stretches, like our hips or our neck or our feet. Funny things happen. You might have like vivid memories might be coming up, or thoughts or smells. Things happen like that. Just go with it and know that you are safe in your practice right now, and it's okay. Very normal. The body holds a lot of stuff, holds a lot of memory, holds a lot of thoughts. And of course, if we're going to move things around and if we're going to cause hormetic stress, which is what we're doing, it's a good stress. The good stress, it's also going to cause our brains to fire. So know that as well. Let's work back towards that ankle, up that shin and calf. Because sometimes I'll be doing a pose and I'll like, I don't know, a memory from like second grade will come up and I'm like, whoa, where did that come from? And it's just, it's our minds processing things, going through things, just different stuff. Very interesting. Our bodies are created amazingly. All right, so back to our simple cross leg. Let's get a nice big sun breath here. Inhale and sweep this up. And exhale that out. Let's give ourselves another big hug. Well, we kind of didn't give ourselves one. I was just showing one. Good. Give yourself a nice big hug. Yeah. And then switch that arm. Nice big hug again. Good. Good, good. And then release that. Very nice. If you're sitting on something, we can go ahead and move that off to the side because we're going to get those legs involved now. Let's lean ourselves back. Take our feet wide. And let's go ahead and drop our knees from side to side. We'll do some hip opening, hip flexor stretching, glutes, waking all of that up, warming that up, continuing to warm this up. These windshield wipers. Good, let's go ahead and keep that right leg in front, this nice zigzag. Nice zigzag right here. And let's hinge this forward first. So we'll go into a nice forward hinge. And then we're gonna actually hinge over our thighs or over our right knee. So hinge here. So this is a very, very modified pigeon because we've got this nice 90-degree front hinge. And then we're gonna walk our hands behind and get into this deeper twist. So this glute and hip can, back glute, left hip can lift up off of the ground. So you can get a really nice twist here. Let's breathe this. Inhale it deeply and exhale it out. And big deep inhale and exhale it out. Feels so good with that breath. Let's bring this back to this front hinge. And we're going to take our right hand back behind us. It's right back by your glute. And we're going to lift ourselves up into this modified wild thing. So lifting this up so we get a wonderful stretch in the front of our body, right through that hip flexor, through that groin, through the abdominals. And then let's drop this pelvis down and hinge this forward. We're going to do this a couple times. So let's inhale and lift this up. Inhale. And then as we exhale, we drop this down and hinge this forward. Good. Inhale and lift this up. And exhale, drop this down and hinge this forward. Again, inhale and lift this up. And exhale, drop this down and hinge this forward. Very nice. Good, and then we're gonna go ahead and lean ourselves all the way back again. And let's take those knees from side to side. Very good. And we're gonna go to the other side in a few moments. Just dropping this, so good. And then let's keep our left leg in front, our left zigzag. Let's hinge this forward to the center first. So forward hinge, ooh yeah. Waking up those hips, waking up those glutes. Bring this up and then over that knee. So hinging to the side, just over that knee. It's that little pigeon, that 90-degree. Not forgetting to breathe. And then bring this up. And now let's walk this back. So take the hand back behind, walk this back. Oh, and that hip, that glute, inner thigh, lifting up. And you can leverage yourself into this twist as deep as feels good for you. Goodness gracious. Let's breathe. Breathe it here or yawn it here. Let's inhale it deeply. And exhale it out. And big deep inhale. And exhale it out. Good. Bring this back to center. Back to that front hinge. Very nice. Let's take our left hand behind us and we're going to go ahead and reach ourselves up. So let's lengthen up through this. Very good. Drop this down, hinge this forward. We'll add the breath to this. So let's take this back, inhale and lift. And exhale, release this down, hinge this forward. Inhale and lift. Exhale and release this down, hinge this forward. And one more time, inhale and lifting up. And exhale, release that down and hinge this forward. Very good. Let's lean this back again and drop just a few more times from side to side. So good. And then let's go ahead and bring both of those feet together and bring ourselves into a nice butterfly. So leaning forward into this. Oh my goodness. Wow, that is a good stretch today. I'm feeling that in the inner thigh, outer thigh. Very good. Oh my goodness. goodness. Nice. All right, let's lengthen through our legs here. We're gonna find ourselves in our strong staff pose. Feet are flexed, legs are long, so we are this capital L. Capital L, so that means we've got to take our arms long. We've got our long levers here, so this makes it a very, very advanced and difficult pose. We're gonna hold this, breathe it here, inhale it deeply, and exhale it out. Inhale it deeply. And exhale it out. And big deep inhale. And exhale it out. From this staff pose, release our arms down, bend our knees, lean ourselves back into a boat pose. So let's just hold this boat pose right here. Our core is engaged. Maybe those quadriceps and those hip flexors are a little warm now, or maybe even burning. Let's breathe this here, 3 breaths. Inhale it deeply and exhale it out. Big deep inhale and exhale it out. And a big deep inhale and exhale it out. So good, very nice. All right, from here, let's bring those arms back behind us. We're gonna lengthen back through the legs, sitting ourselves up tall. Let's bring our right leg in. So hug that right leg in, and then let's go ahead and take that right leg over our left leg. Let's wrap that arm around. So wrapping our left arm around our right leg. Oh, and we're twisting. Oh, getting a good hip stretch and a good shoulder stretch, good trap stretch. Maybe if it's not available to you, maybe your hand is on your shin as you're twisting, or your arm is hooked underneath. You just don't want to be putting a lot of weight on that knee joint or that kneecap. So we're twisting this here. Let's twist it the other way. Breathing that, inhale and exhale it out. And let's bring this to center. Take the bottom of our foot to the inside of our thigh. Peace fingers for that big toe, or hand to shin, or hand to thigh. And let's stretch through this front leg, through our hamstring. Good, and you can take that hand to the lowest rib on your waist, or you can be reaching over, up to you, listening to your body, where it wants to go today. And breathe. Bring this back to center, very nice. Finding ourselves back into our nice staff pose, let's take ourselves the other side. So let's bring our left leg in, take our left leg over, wrap our right arm around, and let's twist. Twisting over to the side, flexing through that foot. Good, and then take that, turn that the other way. Breathing it here. And bring this back to center. Give ourselves a big hug. Let's go ahead and take that foot to the inside of the thigh. Peace fingers for that big toe, hand to shin, hand to thigh. And stretching, the same thing we did on the other side. Getting this nice stretch on this side. And breathe. Very nice. Let's go ahead and grab a block. We're going to take ourselves down onto our backs just for a little bit of bridge work. So taking ourselves down, we've got that block between our knees so that our inner thighs are engaged the whole time. Super helpful to have to hold that block. Our feet are lined up with our knees are lined up with our hips. Hands are right by our sides. Let's go ahead and inhale, lift our pelvis towards the ceiling. So inhale and lifting this up. And exhale, slowly lowering this down. Inhale and lift. And exhale and lower. Inhale and lift. And exhale and lower. Inhale and lift. And exhale and lower. And inhale and lift. And exhale and lower. Good. Our next one, we're going to hold up in our bridge. So let's inhale, lifting and holding. Hold it right here. Inhale and exhale. Let's inhale it deeply here. And then as we exhale, let's drop that pelvis down towards the floor. Very nice that we can release that. You can release that block. Let's drop both of our knees over to one side, take ourselves onto our sides, press ourselves up, and bring ourselves onto all fours. Our shoulders are over our wrists, our hips are over our knees. Actually keep a block close to you because we're going to go into camel's pose right after this. So we're finding ourselves in our quadruped position. Really good stance right here, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Let's drop our belly to the floor, take our eyes to the sky, inhale. And let's round our spine, take our chin to chest, exhale. Drop that belly, inhale. Round that spine, exhale. Drop that belly, inhale. Round that spine, exhale. Drop that belly, inhale. Round that spine, exhale. Drop that belly, inhale. And round that spine, exhale. Good. Bring our back nice and flat. Let's go ahead and lift our leg up. So lifting that right leg up, let's lengthen through our left arm. Very nice. Holding this here for our nice bird dog. We're going to take elbow to knee 6 times. Let's bring this in for 6 and extend. Here's 5 and extend. Here's 4 and extend. Here's 3 and extend. It's 2 and extend. And last one and extend. Good. Hold this extension. Release our arm. Release our leg. Let's take it to the other side. Lift that leg up. Lengthening through that. Lift that right arm up. Reaching through that nice bird dog. Elbow to knee 6 times here. Bring this in for 6 and extend. Here's 5 and extend. Here's 4 and extend. Here's 3 and extend. It's 2 and extend. And last one and hold this extension. Good. Release the arm. Release the leg. Take ourselves back into a nice child's pose. Glutes go back towards our heels, lengthening through our arms. A nice extension. Breathe this here. Good. Bring our hands by our knees. Bring ourselves up. Grab your block. So we're on our knees. We're going to take ourselves back into a camel's pose. So let's go ahead and you can take one block or you can use both blocks. I'm going to have one block between my feet, both my feet. Or you can have both of your blocks on the outside of your feet. So whatever feels best for you. Or you don't have to use blocks at all. You can have your hands on your low back, on your sacrum, and just be leaning back right here. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and take our right hand back for that block, wherever it's at, and let's lengthen up through that left arm. So very similar to what we were doing on the floor earlier in that wild thing. And it's just a modified camel's pose, breathing this here. Such a good back bend, good for back strengthening, back stretching. Breathe this here. Inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale and lift this up. And let's take that other hand back. Oh, left hand goes back to that block, wherever that block is at. Lengthen up through here. And I didn't say this on the other side, but your head can be looking up at the sky or down at the floor, or your neck can be neutral. So wherever it feels best for your neck, your eyes to be looking here. It's okay. So good. Good stretching, good strengthening. Inhale it deeply and exhale it out. Very good. Very nice. Inhale and lift this up. And then let's release our arms to our side. You can take that block, bring our block just down in front of us. We're going to bring ourselves down and forehead to the block. Ooh, get a nice opposing stretch for that low back in this supported child's pose because our head is supported by our block. Very nice. And then you can place that block where you want it for our sun salutations because that's where we're going next. We're going to go into our downward facing dog first and stretch out our legs a little bit more. So let's curl our toes under, keep our knees bent, and let's lift our tails to the sky, lengthening through our spine first. Maybe nod that head yes, and shake that head no. Good. And you can make as much noise as you need to. And we're going to drop our heels down towards the floor. My heels, my ankles, my calves are sore today. Oh yeah. I ran a little bit extra yesterday and I can feel it today. Good, dropping that down. And let's find some stillness here in our downward facing dog. Very good. Let's lift up on our toes, our heels high, and let's drop both of those heels over towards one side. And then lift those heels high and drop them over towards the other side. And lift those heels high, and let's walk our feet to meet our hands, standing forward fold at the front of our mat. And we can allow ourselves to ragdoll here, let our arms dangle, let our upper body dangle. So we're just in a nice forward fold, or ragdoll forward fold, and maybe nodding that head again or shaking that head. Let's take opposite elbow with the opposite hand, making a frame for that head. And breathe. That rib cage feels so good with that expansion, that breath. Very nice. Those calves, hamstrings, glutes, good stretches for the legs. Release our arms. And we can use those blocks if you are using blocks or your hands are to the floor or they're on your shins. Let's inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale and release. Inhale, sweep our arms up nice and big. Tall mountain. Exhale it around into chair. Good. Inhale and lift this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale and lengthen. Tabletop. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep our arms up. Exhale it around into chair. Inhale and lift this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale and release. Our right foot's going to stay forward. Our left foot's going to go back into a tall lunge. Left hand goes on your block, whatever height you want to use that block, or maybe it's on the floor, or maybe you are using a couch or a chair for your hand. Whatever you need to use for your twist here, for your lunge and spinal twist here, use that and breathe. Good. Bring this to center. Let's drop that back knee, uncurl our toe, bring ourselves to crescent on the floor, reaching up through this. And then lean into this. Breathe it here. Inhale. Bring yourself up tall. And then exhale, lean into that. Good. And then bring ourselves forward. Oh yeah, hip flexor. Take that foot back to meet the other foot into a top of plank. Strong top of plank here. Shift our weight forward, drop to fronts of the knees, uncurl our toes. Heart goes down to the floor, heart lifts up off of the floor. Curl our toes under, lift and press. Downward facing dog and breathe. Breathe it here. Walk our feet to meet our hands, standing forward fold at the front of our mat. Let's inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep this up. Exhale it around to chair. Inhale and lift. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale and release. Our left foot stays forward, our right foot goes back into lunge. Right hand on the block, the floor, whatever you're using for height. Let's spinal twist it right here and breathe. Good, bring this to center, drop our back knee, uncurl our toe, and crescent, reach through that. And then lean into this. We'll add that breath, inhale it up tall. And exhale, hinge or lean it forward. Oh my goodness. And then bring that forward. Let's take that foot back to meet the other foot, top of plank. So good. Shift our weight forward, drop to fronts of the knees, uncurl our toes. Heart goes down to the floor, heart lifts up off of the floor. Curl our toes under, lift and press. Downward facing dog and breathe. Let's walk our feet to meet our hands. Standing forward fold, front of our mat. Very good. Let's inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep this up. Exhale it around a chair. Hold here in chair. Bring our hands to heart. We've got seated spinal twist. Let's bring our right elbow to our left thigh. Seated spinal twist right here. Engaging the legs, the glutes, strengthening right here. And it's the spinal twist as well. Let's breathe it. Inhale it deeply. And exhale it out. Good. Bring this back to center. Inhale and sweep this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep this up. Exhale it around to chair again. Bring our hands to heart, and we've got our seated spinal twist the other way. So now our left elbow, left tricep is going over to that right thigh. And breathe. Big deep inhale. And exhale. Strengthening those legs, strengthening those glutes. So good. Bring this back to center. Inhale and sweep this up. Exhale, dive this down and over. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale and release. Right foot stays forward. Left foot goes back into lunge. Left hand, wherever you're using it for height. And let's twist. We've got this nice lunge here. Breathe that. Inhale it deeply. And exhale it out. Good. Bring this to center. Drop that knee. Uncurl that toe. Inhale it up. And exhale, sink into that. Oh, this side, oh my goodness. Go ahead and bring that down. Take that foot back to meet the other foot, top of plank. Shift our weight forward, drop to fronts of the knees, uncurl our toes. Heart goes down to the floor, heart lifts up off of the floor. Curl our toes under, lift and press. Downward facing dog and breathe. Remember your down dog or your child's pose, those are your home bases. So if you're ever needing a break or if you're like, just need to like chill for a second, you can always stay extra time in this down dog or child's pose. Let's walk those feet to meet those hands. Standing forward, fold, front of the mat. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep that up. Exhale it around to chair. Inhale and lifting up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale and release. Left foot stays forward, right foot goes back into lunge. Right hand on the block, floor, whatever you're using. And twisting open, spinal twist. Breathe it here. Put yourselves to center, drop our back knee, uncurl our toe, inhale it up. And exhale, hinge into that. Woo, good stretch. Bring this forward. Take that foot back to meet the other foot, top of plank. Good. Shift our weight forward, drop to fronts of the knees, uncurl our toes. Heart goes down, heart lifts up. Curl our toes under, let them press. Downward facing dog and breathe. Oh, loving the down dog today. Because my Achilles tendons are super tight, feels really good to do the down dog. Let's walk our feet to meet our hands, standing forward fold. We're gonna do our seated spinal twist again. Yes, more strengthening. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale and release. Inhale, sweep our arms up. Exhale it around into chair. We get to hold here in chair, hands to heart, seated spinal twist. So we're taking that again on each side. Breathe it here. Inhale it deeply and exhale it out. Our challenge, we're going to do one more breath here. Inhale it deeply and exhale it out. Bring this back to center. Inhale and sweep this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweeping up. Take it around to chair. Good. Bring hands to heart and seated spinal twist the other way. And we're going to do 2 breaths on this side as well. So inhale it deeply and exhale it out. And big deep inhale and exhale it out. So good. Bring this back to center. Inhale and sweep that up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale and release. Good. Keep this in that forward fold for just a moment. Feels really good on the backs of the legs right here. We're going to take both of our legs back into a top of plank. Bring ourselves right here into top of plank. Shift our weight forward, drop to fronts of the knees, uncurl our toes. Heart's going to go down to the floor. Heart's going to lift up off of the floor. Good. Curl our toes under, let them press. Downward facing dog. So we did some glute strengthening, some quad strengthening with our seated spinal twist twice. We're going to do some upper body strengthening now. We're going to get our biceps, our triceps, our shoulders. Woo, with our chaturangas or our push-ups, our yoga push-ups. So let's bring ourselves back into a top of plank. So we were in that down dog, now we're back into this top of plank. Let's shift that weight forward, drop to fronts of the knees, uncurl our toes. Our arms are going to be really, really close to our rib cage, and we are going to drop our chest down, arms go right by that rib cage, and then heart lifts up off of the floor. Baby cobra. We're going to do that. Let's do that 4 more times. Curl our toes under, let them press. Downward facing dog and breathe. So that was your arm push up. Let's bring ourselves back to top of plank. Shift our weight forward, drop to fronts of the knees, uncurl our toes. Heart goes down. Now really slowly, that's building strength right there. Heart comes up, baby cobra, and right there. Biceps. Curl our toes under, let them press. Downward facing dog, and that was the whole arm and shoulder right there as you press yourself up. And the core, abs, don't forget that core and abs. Yes, all right, back to top of plank. Shift our weight forward, drop to fronts of the knees, uncurl our toes. Heart goes down to the floor, heart lifts up off of the floor. Good, curl our toes under, let them press. Downward facing dog and breathe. I think that was 3. Ooh, arms are feeling good. And then let's bring ourselves back to top of plank. Shift our weight forward, drop to fronts of the knees, uncurl our toes. Heart goes down, heart lifts up. So good. Curl our toes under, let them press that up. Yes, right there. Biceps, triceps, shoulders, and core, all of that. And breathe. So good. Very nice. All right, back to top of plank. You're like, what? Yeah, just one more. Well, kind of half of one. Let's shift our weight forward, drop to fronts of the knees, uncurl our toes. Heart goes down. Now take this nice and slow, and then lift the heart up into a baby cobra, but we're going to change this into a Sphinx. So we're coming right there onto those elbows. We're changing that into that Sphinx right there on the elbows. So good. Eyes are still lifted. Good stretch for that low back. Let's keep that right elbow, right hand into the floor if that's available for you. And we're gonna reach our left hand back for our left foot. And it might not be available for you to be up like this. Maybe you are having to be down on the ground. That's okay. Because we're focusing on that, like that nice quadricep stretch. So then back into that Sphinx, and we're gonna take it to the other side. So reaching that back, or again, if you can't get back there like that, maybe you are lengthening like this. So whatever is working for you, whatever is helpful for you, because sometimes that spinal flexion that we're doing right here does not work, and that's okay. It takes time to get that. Good, go ahead and release that. Hands are by our chest. Let's bring ourselves back into a nice child's pose. Ooh, did you feel the shoulders right there? Yeah, back into a nice child's pose. Glutes go back towards heels. And breathe. And hands by knees, press ourselves up. We're going to take ourselves onto our backs for our final relaxation, but actually also grab a strap. So grab what you need for relaxation, for final relaxation. Maybe use an eye pillow, but also grab your strap. We're going to take ourselves down onto our backs and have whatever you need within reaching distance. Let's take our strap around our right foot. Let's lengthen through our left leg. So strap is around right foot, like left foot is, or left leg is lengthened. And let's pull that strap, pull that leg into our torso. And then let's press up through that heel to the ceiling. Pull the leg towards us with that strap. That's why I love using the strap, super helpful. Get some really good stretching here. Let's keep our strap in our left hand and let's drop this across. Deep twist here. Maybe you're able to look over to the right. Legs to the left, looking to the right. Oh, this opposing stretch. Man, my breath wants to stop. When you're like, oh, that's really tight, I don't want to breathe. That's when you need to breathe the most. Do some nice deep breathing when everything feels tight and stuck. And maybe even sigh. A little bit of sighing helps as well. Sighing always helps. Good, bring our leg back to center and pull that towards us. Bend at the other leg, let's release that. We'll get a good sciatic stretch here. So imagining that we're folding that leg onto the belly and chest. And then go ahead and release that. Very good. Let's take our strap around our left foot. Lengthening through our right leg. Left knee pulling in or bending in towards that torso. Oh my goodness, that feels good. Bringing that leg in. Let's press up through that heel to the ceiling. Pull that leg towards us again. So thankful for the invention of straps to be able to do these things, to be able to do these modified things. Let's keep our strap in our right hand and let's drop our leg across the body. Deep twist, looking to the left. So our leg is going to the right. We are looking to the left. If it's available to you. Sometimes it's not. Some days it's not. Listening to your body, going with your body where it's going to go today for your practice. back to center. Pull that leg towards us. Bend at the other leg. Release that strap and let's get that nice sciatic stretch on this side. So reaching behind that foot, behind that knee, and imagine that we can fold, just fold that leg right onto that belly and chest. Good. And then release that. Let's lengthen through our legs towards one end of the room, reach through our fingers towards the other, imagining that we are adding a few inches to our height here. So maybe imagining somebody is pulling at your ankles and somebody else is pulling at your wrists. If you've got that eye pillow, you can place that over your eyes. Just enjoy the heaviness, the light heaviness of that eye pillow and the darkness. Just reaching through that. Your body is long, legs are long, arms are long, torso is stretched. Let's inhale it deeply here. And then with a deep, big exhale, we can allow ourselves to sink, to settle. Our feet to just naturally settle or fall open, arms settle or open off to the side. Relax your face, relax your jaw, relax those eyes, eyebrows, forehead, scalp. Relax and release that entire body. Just sinking down into the floor. Maybe as you're sinking, you've got your eyes closed, or maybe you've got the eye pillow over your eyes. You can imagine, and you can do an imaginary body scan. So imagine that you are floating above yourself, and then you can turn yourself over and look down onto yourself, and then just do a scan. Scan from your feet, through your ankles, through your shins, to your knees, to those thighs, those quadriceps, to those glutes, the pelvis, the belly, the chest, the rib cage, the arms, the neck, the jaw, the face, the head, the scalp. Just scanning through all of that. And maybe you're doing an infrared scan. Maybe you can see heat spots or different things in your body, or maybe something is like still on fire, or you've got an injury, or you've got some other stuff going on, or maybe you can even scan for mental stuff. Maybe you've got some anxiety or some stress. Maybe something's coming up that you're anxious about. Just recognizing those things. And kind of smoothing it out with your breath. And this is a good practice to do. This is a good thing to do too. Regular, like in the midst of your day. Maybe there's something very stressful going on. You have the tools. You can stop yourself. You can lay yourself on the ground. You can do a body scan. Scan it and breathe it. And then get yourself back into the whatever you were doing. Or sit yourself down and scan it. Breathe through it. And then you can resume whatever you are doing. Recognizing and breathing. Those are superpowers. And you've got them. Still relaxing. Let's bend our knees. And let's drop both of our knees over to our sides, taking ourselves onto our sides. And breathe it here. So bring ourselves up into a seated pose that feels supportive and strong for you. I like to be in that kneeling pose right on my block. Feels good on the front of my feet. Set ourselves up tall. Let's inhale and sweep our arms up. Bring our hands to prayer. And then exhale, eyes following our fingers. Take our chin to chest. Good. Lift our head center. Take our fingers to forehead. As we leave today, let us think thoughts of truth. Take our fingers to our lips. As we leave today, let us speak words of love. Taking our hands to our hearts. As we leave today, let our lives be a light of truth and a light of love, having hearts of compassion and mercy, knowing that we have not been given a spirit of fear, but the spirit of love and a sound and peaceful mind. Inhaling it deeply and exhale it out. And again, big deep inhale and big cleansing exhale. And thank you for joining me for the practice today. Have a blessed rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.